I hope so. I hope Paul Ryan is allowed to speak more than Mitt Romney, just myself. And if Mitt Romney speaks, I hope he's clear. I pray for guidance and wisdom for him. But, you know, a lot of these guys who run for Congress are not public policy experts. They're not even policy wonks. What's wonderful about Paul Ryan is that he is a policy wonk. And he can go through the healthcare bill better than I can. And so I'm really excited about the addition of Ryan to the Romney camp. Why you're not hearing this in any of this thing I've told you tonight is because the mainstream media is fully compliant with this administration and will not give you any bit of news. And sadly, even our conservative media outlets are much times not giving everything we need to know, like what I've told you this evening. It took 2 years for me to appear on Fox News National. I should have been on 2 years before. Not because I want to be on Fox News, because people need to hear the truth. And it took 2 years and tons of strings to pull to get me in front of a business owner in Naperville holding the healthcare law, right? And going over things that nobody knew. Everyone in this room should know medical loss ratios. Everybody in this room should know about the largest religious lawsuit in US history being filed against the US government because of another one of Kathleen Supercilious's wonderful little thing she wrote. On August 1st, 2011, she decided that it's going to be the law of the land for everyone in America to pay for abortion in their health insurance. Even though the president promised, who? Stupid Stupak from Michigan, executive order, there'll be no abortions. And remember that? Stupid Stupak, the Christian holdout, right? Everybody in this room, we're telling Stupid Stupak screaming from our homes, hey, dummy! Hey, he's lying. He went with it, the 13 idiots went with him, the blue dog Dems, and we got Obamacare. Sebelius writes in August 1st, 2011, says within 1 year, every American has to pay for abortifacient drugs. Michelle Bachmann of CNN says during the debates, they're going to pay for the morning after pill. They're going to make you do it. Sebelius just wrote the law. CNN said she's crazy, she's local, she's wrong. There's no RU 486 legislation. See how clever CNN is? RU 486 was not in her legislation. What was is Ella and Plan B, two equally deadly abortifacient drugs. And come 2014, thanks to Sebelius, one of those 13,000 new pages, there will be a fund for $1 of every one of the premiums you pay that go to actual physical abortions. People have to understand who put this together. Who's heard of Ezekiel Emanuel?
Rahm Emanuel's brother.
Yes, a few of us, right? Dr. Ezekiel Emanuel believes in something called the complete life system. This is the guy who was one of Obama's chief healthcare czars before it passed. Here's what he believes in, okay? Right here. Down here is the age 0, okay? I call it the Reaper curve, okay? They call it the complete life system. This is what they actually believe in. At age 0, you should receive very little health care because you're fully dependent upon society. You're a burden, right? Up the bell curve, or what I call the Reaper curve, up here at age 35, Mr. Ezekiel Emanuel and the statists like him, the central planners like him, think that you should get the most health care in your life at age 35. Down the curve, you get to where I'm at 45, which strangely this is located at. Have I already been rubbed out? At 45, I'm rapidly losing value to Obama. The amount of health care I should receive decreases greatly. By the time you get down here to age 65, 70, they believe you should get the same amount of health care that you should have gotten back here at 0, because you're once again a burden on society. This is a president who used to be our senator, who voted to kill the Born Alive Protection Act that protects children of botched abortions and instructs nurses, neonatal nurses, to take that baby, put it in a room until it's died.
Sounds like Nazi Germany.
And not just once, he voted against it 4 times. This is the President of the United States. Add to that IPAB, the Independent Payment Advisory Board. It's being staffed right now with 15 people that the President gets to pick all by himself. Shove them through Reed's Senate and put them on this panel. And this panel is commissioned to cut another $500 billion from the American healthcare system, doing it by what? Further reducing reimbursement ratios. And guess what? If those 15 knuckleheads, none of them are practicing physicians, none of them, if they can't come to a decision to cut that $500 billion, For the first time in U.S. history, it falls to one person to make the cuts. Guess who that is? Kathleen Supercilious. That's right. That's right. This is the kind of tyranny that we are under, and most of us don't even know what's going on. Which is why, now that you do know it, you probably retain maybe 10%, 3% of your lip, go to my website, which is truthaboutobamacare.com. That is 2.5 years of reading through this tyrannical legislation, breaking it down, so that you have a way to engage the left. And try to do it as often as you can. Before Andrew Breitbart died, what did he teach us? Always carry your sword. What's your sword? Your camera phone, right? You can Google, when you get home, Google "See Stephen Tucker commits homicide." And you'll come to a blog, and on the blog is the author's title. That's what he called it when he saw the video. It's a 31-minute video of me in front of Congressman Randy Hochran's office, debating one of our friends on the left, which I have none. And this is MoveOn.org, and they wouldn't, they were trying to protest Randy Hochran for voting against Obamacare. And so I just went out there, and you'll see me in the beginning, there's a group of them standing. I go, would anybody like to discuss the healthcare law? I mean, you're out here in the rain, you must support this, I'm a citizen journalist. No, thank you. And then one does. And the next 31 minutes is every White House talking point you've heard replaced with actual facts. So you can get to that point where you understand kids could stay on their health insurance plan for years, before the healthcare law passed. They could stay on their parents' plan until 25, 26, 27. I've got them all on my website, every state, every statute. Pre-existing conditions solved with one sentence. Congress created pre-existing conditions. We don't need 2,400 pages. These are the things. And that's why I made this 5-hour drive, and I drive all over the place. Koch brothers don't fund me. Tea Party's broke, as you know, right? Because I want you to be able to know the truth, and then each of you has a circle of influence. Get it out there. Engage the left, because they're winning. They're winning this battle. And they've got huge special interests behind them. And we just have us. That's it. Next question. Yes, sir, the back. Ma'am, I'm sorry. I thought he was raising his arm. Yes. Yes, SenateConservatives.com.
So is our better hope with a majority of conservatives in the Senate than Romney?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We can't repeal Obamacare without getting rid of the worst part, which is Obama. Right. So you need a president. You've got to have Romney. Believe me, I was a Newt Gingrich delegate.
But will he vote? Do you really think that Romney will?
Yes. Oh, God, yes. Absolutely. In fact, Mitt Romney has already committed, by introducing competition into the Medicare arena for the first time in history, by having these insurers compete for Medicare business, he has already promised to restore every penny of the $716 billion that was cut from Obamacare. I have full faith in Romney to repeal Obamacare. I do. And I do believe him when he says what he did in Massachusetts was constitutional, because he's right. Was it a disaster? My God, it was a disaster. Yes. But we all can make these little experiments. Romney's experiment was a disaster, right? Ohio's experiment is brilliant. You see, Ohio solved pre-existing conditions a long time ago. Ohio's insurance commissioner says, you come in our state, you're a health insurance company, you want to sell health insurance? You got to give 4% of your block of business to sick people, no questions asked. You need to open your books, no underwriting at all, for 30 days, once a year. And every Ohioan comes in, they get it. Doesn't matter if they got cancer, no, doesn't matter. You know that they have 20 carriers in Ohio? They've never maxed out 4% for every carrier, not even close. United Healthcare fills up their 4%, they give you Humana's number, their competitor. Sick people go there, fill the 4%. Humana to Aetna, Aetna to Cigna, all the way down the line. We could have taken that, spread that across the country. We didn't. We took LagoCare, which is a disaster. So I believe him.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Good, I did my job.
Real quick, before we get out of here. One of the things that's coming up on the November ballot is municipal utility aggregation, and that has to do with the city becoming a bargaining unit for your utilities. The problem is that that's something that the city doesn't need to be involved in. So you'll see some communication coming out about that. We, as an organization, oppose that. Yes, you can save money in it, but you can also save money on your own by going to the utility companies and getting your own deals. Don't forget, if you can, go grab a sign on the way out, one of the vote signs for Get Out the Vote campaign. Next meeting is November 6th on election night. We're going to be here and have the big screen going. And I mentioned getting a hold of the board members if you have any questions or any problems whatsoever, or just want to get more engaged. And I thought I'd introduce the board members real quick. Dick Foster, Becky Vogel, Sharon Geisey, Kenny Holtz, he'll take your money. John Spake is not here. His brother Tim is here. Well, thanks Tim for helping with the meal tonight. You slip out. I'm Dan Moosalt. Glenn Ebbing is not here, and Mecky Kozen.
Hello. My name is Jim Mussolino. I'm alderman in the 6th Ward. I was one of those few that voted against the aggregation as a city. I didn't do it for the reason of keeping people from making the vote. I think it should be placed in the voters' hands. The problem is the uneducated voter is going to make the decision. And I'm against it. There's free enterprise out there that can take care of itself. The city wants to demand, or they're going to put everyone on it, and I'm against that. And just remember that there is a motive behind this, and it's to put a feather in somebody's hat. So it's probably somebody running for mayor next time again. So with that, I would encourage all of you to talk with your neighbors about aggregation as a city. And if you have any questions, you can call me. Thank you.
Any questions for any of the board members or anybody else before we get out of here? Yes, sir.
I've got a question and a statement. How many of you know what the Black Regiment was during the Revolutionary War?
How many know what the Black Regiment was during the Revolutionary War?
Black Regiment was during the Revolutionary War. I see one hand.
Was that from the preachers, wasn't it?
It was pastors,
yeah, the preachers,
and rabbis. As soon as they gave their last sermon, took off their clerical robe, and underneath was a uniform of a revolutionary officer. They went out and fought and died to give us the right to vote. People say, well, I don't realize that. This Sunday is a very important Sunday, and a lot of people don't know this. But this Sunday is called Freedom Sunday. There are between 6,000 and 10,000 pastors, priests, and rabbis this weekend are going to be taping their sermons and sending them to the IRS. Their sermons are not going to be politically correct. What they are going to do is challenge the 501c3 regulation of the IRS regulations, muzzling the pastors and the preachers. Now, I'm not an ordained minister, I'm a lay minister. So I'm not tied by IRS regulation, but I am trying to encourage people to support these pastors. The biggest problem we have in this country, and this is my humble opinion for what it's worth, I'm 78 years old, is the fact that the pastors and the priests and the rabbis are not standing forth for the principles of our founding fathers. It was just that simple. My name is Norman Schaller. You've probably seen my letters in the Herald League over the last 15 or so years. I am a political, I should say wild card, I guess. I am politically incorrect. And I'm hoping to stand that way. But I'm going to stand out and say what I think. That's all I got to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Norman. Okay, real quick reminder, this Sunday, 1 to 5 out at the GOP headquarters is the sign party. They're going to get everybody together and take signs out and put them in people's yards that have requested them. If you know somebody that can put a sign in their yard, or if you can't, get a hold of one of the board members or get a hold of the GOP and let them know. This Sunday, 1 to 5, and then right after that, 5 to 7 is the volunteer appreciation mixer, so just hang out and have a good time. Thanks, everybody, for coming. We'll see you on election night.